In Lewis Carroll's book, Through the Looking Glass, the White Queen says to Alice that in her youth she could believe as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. A fusion of Edwardian photography and imaginative special effects made the impossible possible, with images of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang type cars and Mary Poppins-esque characters floating through the sky more than half a century before the respective blockbuster films came out. It's as if this photographic alchemy could predict the future from the ashes of the past.
Welcome to the Perfection Selection, a Creamer Cats TV.
If you like time travelling, then subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the like button to preserve our heritage for future generations. Here are some of the strangest photographic images ever from the early 20th century, years before Photoshop and computers came along. They were converted into postcards so that these early viral memes could be spread to the 4 corners of the world via snail mail. Except the postal service was surprisingly efficient in those days, with apparently as many as 6 to 12 postal deliveries a day in some major cities. Pretty good going in the days before the internet. In our social media age, virtually anybody could create their surreal photographic images at the click of a mouse, but at that time it would have taken hours, if not days and weeks of painstaking work. If you wanted colour, you had to actually manually hand colour them in with watercolours or crayons. To create surreal effects, you might use tricks like multiple exposures or manually cutting out photos and artwork and layering them on top of each other. In other words, photo montage. Years before it was considered an art form in its own right. They didn't have a back catalogue of techniques to use, because they were the original trailblazers, going where no one had gone before in this photographic Wild West. Photos like these would inspire future blockbuster movie directors and whole art movements, such as the Dada'ists and Surrealists, many of whom were postcard collectors. The Surrealists had a huge impact on modern culture, so much so that anything that is remotely considered creatively strange, weird and wacky is often referred to as surreal. The influence of the cut-up technique, championed by the Dadaists, even spread as far as mainstream music, when David Bowie cut up words from old magazines and diary entries and randomly recombined them to create the surreal lyrics in many of his hit songs, which would later morph into music sampling or music montage, pioneered by the hip-hop and electronic musicians of the 1980s and 90s. Now that you've seen that video, why not click on my other cardboard adventures?